Hi, and welcome to Strolling with the Orchids. I would say Saturday strolling. However, today is Sunday. Been really busy. I'm going to show you guys kind of what I've been up to. But before that, I wanted to show you, this is either a Thanksgiving cactus or a Christmas cactus. But look, let me see if I look at all the blooms that are getting ready to come on this thing. Look at this. She has buds everywhere. So she sits here. This is a southwest facing window, and I just kind of stuck her in here at the beginning of the growing season in 2023. No, 2024. It's 2024, Trish. 2024, and in this self-watering pot, which I love because I don't have to pick her up and lug her to the sink. But look at all the blooms. Look at this. I will show you again once she is burst open, but oh my goodness. I counted last night and there are over 100 blooms coming on this thing. So let's go into the living room, aka my grow room, and see what's going on. So as you can see, I do still have quite the mess to clean up, but these are all the excess things that I have come across during my revamping to make room for the Millsbow Tall and the Millsbow Wide that I did get for my birthday. Also, for those of you who've been kind of following and have watched, we did say goodbye to Winnie a couple of weeks ago. And she is in a better place now, grabbing her big sticks and running. So that is another reason I haven't been posting for a while. Been a little, saying goodbye. But on the lighter side, let's take a look at where everyone is. We're going to start over here. This hasn't changed much. I did move my speciosa over here. There is something not right with her. I'm going to have to take her out of the pot. She started doing this, and I do realize it is a fungal issue, so I may have to cut some leaves, cut her back. Might even have to say goodbye to her. I've had her since, I believe, 2019, 2020. The Hoya Princess is still doing fine, and I did move the Heartleaf Hoya up here. My poor spider plant does need watering, and then, of course, we have the ZZ plant. I have my Jade and Pearl. So this corner hasn't really changed much. Now what has changed is the bench that used to sit here is actually an outside bench, so it is now out on the porch. I'm not sure if I'm going to leave this the way it is, but I was trying to be pedantic and be like, oh, well, this will look good here, this will look good here, and then I finally was like just putting plants wherever I could fit them, and that's kind of how this shelf came to be. The honeymoon suite for the mealybugs did get a revamp. I did tear down most of her structure. She did lose about 4 or 5 fans. She does have about 4 left in there. I do check it every day to make sure that they have not come back. However, since putting her in here, I have not seen any more. Knock on wood, knocking on my head. I have a Sansevieria here that I got on sale at the grocery store. And then I also found the Wellfin on sale at the grocery store. And then I moved one of the jewel orchids down here. This is the Ladicio Discolor, and yes, you can look at the sheen. I absolutely love this plant, and it has such a velvety texture. It's I love this plant. I have another one behind me. Then I did put the philodendron, white philodendron down here. She does have a spike right here, and this one has been in bloom on and off all season. The red fantasy is sitting here, and then I did move my marble peperomia obtusifolia, I think, or obtusifolia, something like that, but I just threw her down here. The Australosalisa is pretty much in the same spot she was in before on the other stand, only where this Oncidium is here. The which one is that? The Golden Gammon that I have sitting there. And then the plant stand that my daughter got me for Christmas in 23 moved over here. I did have the Fred Clark After Dark, and I did stake it up a little bit because it was leaning over and I didn't want that growth to break. So it's sitting there. I've got the No ID, I call it Sweet Love. Oh my goodness. Phalaenopsis. I totally blanked on what this plant was. Sorry about that. Kingianum is over here. And guys, tell me something. I was really looking at this plant. Are these dried buds that would have bloomed if I had not let it dry out? They're all on all of the stems. There's several, and if so, let me know if those were buds that could have become blooms if I'd not neglected this lovely, lovely thing so much this past season. And as I was rearranging, the Celtic Sun Mayo has a nice little bloom, so that is why she is sitting here currently. And then up here, let me come back some, Cleopatra is hanging out right here with her big luscious self. Again, still need to remedia her pot. The pulchra is up here, and then the summer love is there. And then my, the glare, let's see, the Hoya Chelsea. I did move the unicum right here as well away from the side of thing because I kept knocking it. My Maranta did get dried out pretty good, so I did repot her into the self-watering pot. Originally she was just in her regular nursery pot inside that pot, but moved it to the self-watering process. Hope she recovers. Hoya Bella is looking absolutely stunning over there with her long vine. Eventually I hope she'll bloom again. She did bloom for us once. And then the Silogeny right here, if you can see that name, with her growths are coming right on along. And then, let's see, slowly. So this is a Gracillus, at least that's what it was sold as. Let me grab the tag so I can show you real quick. So this is what it was sold as. It is one that I got for my birthday. And then I did move this princess here. And this is one of the dragon, one of the alocasia dragon. I just can't remember which one. I've got the Paphiopedilum, one of my Nivium over there. And then this one here, I am so proud of this growth. This is what she grew for me this season of 2024. It is bulbing out, and that is this one here. I think it's called an Onceliclades. Probably chop that up, but you know, we all know I can't pronounce names. And look down here. Let me pull her out so you can see these not blooms, they're not blooms. But look at those leaves. Look at the beautiful pink on those leaves. I love it. Absolutely love it. Look how full she's getting and how large those leaves are getting. Oh my goodness, she's just loving life over here in this east-facing window. Not sure what kind of philodendron this is quite yet, but I'm thinking it might be an herbescens. Let me know in the comments if you know what that is. My little Bambino is working on a new leaf. I did let this one dry out, and it did get some mealybug attacked. My African violet back there is still blooming. She's just constantly in bloom. I love that for her and for me. Gives me a spot of color. Have my Dendrobium nobile type back there. It does have a name. I just can't remember what it is. I got this one here for my birthday as well. It is, I believe it's the Rojo something another philodendron, and I did put the stake on here because she was kind of leaning that way. Also got this one for my birthday. This is a Summer Glory, and after doing a little bit of research on her, found out she's a crawler, thus the trough planter there. And this is just here to keep her from flipping over. Eventually I will pot her in there, but as you can see, she has a new leaf coming, and from what I've researched and seen, shouldn't be repotting when a new leaf is forming. She does have another one down here, another plantlet that she produced, because that's a whole new leaf there. But this leaf opened in my care. It was growing when I got it, and look how gorgeous that is, just beautiful. The Schilleriana in the self-watering pot has finished her leaf. So I did put her down here. I don't want to stress her too much. And then look at the lime fiddle. Fiddle lime? Is it fiddle lime or lime fiddle? Lime fiddle. So this leaf is not bad. It's not perfect, but it's not bad. It's better than this one here. And then she does have another one here that I am not going to touch. I'm not going to touch it. And of course, the beautiful Oh my gosh, y'all, I'm having such brain cramps right now. This is a Latoria type Dendrobium. It is the Royal Chip. It is a cross of Roy Takanaga and Microchip. But oh my goodness, all the growth she's putting out. She has been repotted into fresh moss and bark, perlite, charcoal. Still sitting here. She's loving life, putting off all kinds of new growths. Loving that for her. And then my, I believe it's a Wayeti. Look at the size of the leaves coming out. Oh my goodness. She's got two directions of growth on this side, and this planter I still think is just the cutest. I believe I'm going to get a large one for another plant that we'll get to here in a moment. The Anzalani, I don't know. Let's see if we can get it out of the glare. There it is. But my Anzalani I moved over here. I think it was getting a little too cool by the door. And then my Oncidium Pink Perfusion, which if I can focus on it, I don't think that spike back there in the back is going to bloom because I did let her dry out pretty decently as well. My Papilliaminum crossed with Forgetti, not really doing much. This leaf did come, it came damaged like that. It was growing and I think it got damaged in shipment, but it's okay. And then look at the growth on the maxillaria. Oh my goodness, look at that. Look at all the growths on there. It is really starting to love life since putting it in front of this east-facing window, as is my Heterophylla, aka Dragon's Breath. I have gotten all of these new growths here, and she's got plenty more where those came from. Just loving this plant. Loving it, loving it. I come look at it quite frequently, and I love the back. Look, the back is just as veiny as the front. Gotta love that. Then we've got the Dragon's Breath. Nope, this is the Silver Dragon, sorry. My Hoya... Okay, you guys know what that is. Leave it in the comments. I'm having a cramp. Has finally started to grow and do something. And then look at the Publicalyx. Oh my goodness. I think this might be the Hawaiian because look at the new leaf growth is coming out. That maroonish red. Hasn't bloomed yet, but oh my goodness, look at that. And that is two pieces. I cut the top off of it and just stuck it in with this one. And it looks like the piece that I cut is going to give us some new growth right there. Do you see those little growth points? Beautiful, just beautiful. And then this queen here wasn't doing much, and I put her into some pon, and she seems to be taking off. Look how much larger these leaves are compared to what she was growing before. And then this is a Croniana, doing rather well. And as the vines grow, I just keep wrapping it around to kind of fill in that pot, similar to what I did with the Eskimo here. As you can see, the top of her is nice and full now, and she's got two vines growing. Love this plant, love it, just love it. And then Jacqueline here is suffering. She got infested with some mealies, so had to spray her and treat her. And she did lose two leaves, so fingers crossed she continues to survive. Matter of fact, I cleaned one off of her this morning. Didn't see any more. My Mitsiliana here, I am obsessed. Y'all, I'm obsessed. Look at the shininess of that leaf. This is a velvet leaf alocasia, and she has that beautiful new growth coming. And then the Ring of Fire is doing rather well. And then over here in the basket, we've got a Varicosum, we've got my Monstera Peru, and then just some little succulent cuttings there. And then I have identified this lovely lady here. This is the Fuzzy Petiole Philodendron, thus the fuzzy petioles. Now, this leaf right here is the first one that she opened up for me, and it came out as a half moon, and as you can see, this side is going over. I'll probably cut this portion off after the video, but look at the new leaf coming out on that thing. Oh my goodness. Just lovely. This is the one that I got at Lowe's on a discount. But yes, we're going to get into the cabinet in a moment. But guys, look. My Mewtwo King Bellina finally opened her bloom. Look at that bloom. Look how beautiful. She's very waxy and she has a sweet, spicy smell to her. But oh my goodness, she was definitely worth the 2-year wait. Definitely worth that 2-year wait. And then of course I've got like you guys know this, lipstick plant. I do believe this is the common one, the radicans. And there are some vines that are kind of going over. Again, a birthday gift. I just was waiting, letting her acclimate before I start chopping and taking all the yuckies off. So I'll be doing that either this weekend or next weekend. Montana Big Sky, I don't know about her. My Porpax as well, not 100% sure. I mean, there are still nice growths on there. She's growing roots, but not sure if she's going to make it. The Hippodamia here, there's 2 pieces, still doing fine, steady growing. The Vanda, I believe this is the Pakra. No, not the Pakra. The Pakra's up there. This one I got from Ken. I can't remember the name of it at the moment, but it's finally doing stuff. And then my little stars down here, look how dehydrated it got. Like those leaves right here were just, shriveled. Soaked it for about 3 hours and it came back. What else do we have on this one? Oh, I was hoping that my no ID Phalaenopsis philodendron, oh my goodness, Phalaenopsis dendrobium, I was hoping those blooms would open, and at first I thought it was going to be white, but if you look at it, it looks like it's probably going to be more like a yellow creamy color with maybe some maroon or pink throating. Be interesting to see what that looks like. Should be open by next week. And then my Maxillaria up here, look what I found when I was watering it. We've got us a little growth popping out of the burlap. Interesting, but if I ever have to remount that, that's going to be fun to take out. Hawaiian Treat, again, just lots of growth, no blooms. The 3 soft clouds, Phalaenopsis, are doing fine. I did move the other Australia's Lisa over here, along with the Hindu rope and the black margin, which, look at those leaves. Oh my goodness, just love it, love it. And I don't think I'm a very good staghorn fern parent. This is the second one that I've had, and it was doing fine, and then it just, it's not doing well, but I'm not going to give up on it quite yet. I do have the heartleaf variegated Hoya here, and then the white dendrobium that I grew outside last year. As you can see, the growth for 2024 is not quite as large as the one from when it was growing outside. It's nice and thick, it's just not as tall, but I was looking in there and I think we might get a spike off of it as well. Spicerianum, Paphiopedilum spicerianum. We do have a nice little bud popping up there, so we should, keyword is should, if Trish doesn't mess it up, get a beautiful bloom. And then I was thinking of getting that large swing hanger thing that the Wyetii is in for my heartleaf philodendron. I think that would look so cute growing down over that. The Schilleriana that I got from Norman's finished this leaf here and is growing a nice new leaf. I'm waiting for it to spike because it is blooming size, because I did cut an old spike off of it when I received it. So I know it can bloom, I just got to get it there. Hibicki's just, I don't know. She keeps senescing leaves, and I know that's normal, but at the same time, I'm just like, oh, what am I doing wrong? Anyone with thoughts, let me know. It is in a bark and moss perlite mixture. I mean, she's got lovely roots in there, so maybe I'm just not being patient enough. Maybe that's it. Orange Kiss is doing beautifully over here. They all need to be dusted. Oh my goodness, just need to be dusted. Now, to the wide. I don't have lights in there quite yet because I haven't 100% determined how I want to set them up. Again, I was just putting plants away. So as of right now, I have this little clip-on light. It's a Sansi light, and it's doing the job. The problem is when I want to get into the cabinet, I do have to move the light out of the way so it's not going to be quite as bright when we open it up and look inside. But most of what I have in here right now are my ICPUs, and as you can see, there's one back there that I don't think Pink Lip is going to make it. We're going to have to let her go. But most of the ones I have in here are Phalaenopsis, and then I do have a Paphiopedilum niveum piece in here. But most of them, like I was saying, are rescues, or the ICPUs, intensive care plant unit plants. I moved the Tolumnia in here, my other piece of the Fred Clark After Dark, and I know this is not a white princess because it doesn't have the pink on the petioles, but so it's either going to be the white wizard or the white knight. Anybody know? Let me know. I'm kind of leaning towards the white knight, but let me know what you think. And then I've got the Crinkle 8 because it is struggling as well. My Deliciosum back here is having some issues. I did move the Ladoria Sweet Memory in here. She does not have any roots, but she has lots of root nubbins. So she is sitting right above some moss. I'm hoping to save her. If not, like I've said before, she will get replaced. I have my Geo's Girl, Phalaenopsis Geo's Girl back there. I moved Leonis in here, the Angraecum Leonis. Down here is the other Bellina. That is a rescue or ICPU Cattleya that's kind of struggling. Most of the Curl Smith orchids are down here just because they're kind of younger and still trying to recover from the repot. Do have a Hoya cutting in here. It's a nice full plant that I got for my birthday again. It was just very wet and most of it died off, and I managed to save those. Don't want to open it quite yet because I did just put it in there a few weeks ago. So, all right, this is the top of the large grow shelf, and I used to have all the phals up here. Decided to put some of the big gun Cattleyas because this light, it's literally, is that the light or is that the light? I don't know. But anyway, the light is pretty strong up here. That is the white Cattleya. Poor, oh my God, y'all, I'm having brain cramps all day today. My two larger Vandas, this one and this one here that I got from Hauserman in 22, I think it was. They're struggling. They have very little roots. I am trying to keep them watered. I may have to let them go. This is the Pacra, the purple blue one. It's doing wonderful. I did manage to find a saucer. This is one of those plastic saucers I got at Lowe's. I do keep water down here at the bottom. I'm able to kind of squirt water in here every couple of days, and then I give it a good soak once a week. The Sanderianum is doing a fine. I love these leaves. I love this girl. My Nodosa is sitting up here doing well. I did take the hanger off of the, oh my goodness, which one is this? Cerula? I can't remember what the name of this one is, but it's a Brassivola. But I did just set it up here. It does have this beautiful new growth coming right here. And then, of course, the Ruth McNeil, or Lois McNeil, her growths are coming right on along. And then we have Goldstaff. Again, look, she's growing out of this pot. And then this shelf here used to have all of the summer bloomers on it. So instead, most of these that were sitting up here, I put down here. So we've got the Morgan, we've got my Chia Yinlin. This is an ICPU. This one over here is the Mendenhall, the white one. And then I did move my Hyacinth Venus over here, hoping it will encourage her to bloom. She has some like peachy orange blooms, very pretty. She's also been struggling with the unwanted guests. I did have to wipe her down again. I moved the Vandopsis gigantea over here. Then we have Dusty Bell. This is the one that's got the mottled leaves with the blooms that smell, along with the Centurion. Also doing well under here. I moved the Lamagira over here from off of the wall. And then this one here also is struggling with the mealies. I've been watching it every day. So far, so good, knock on wood. I believe this is a pink one. I can't remember. I think this is the one I named Sweet Tart. Again, I didn't put a name tag in there, so I don't remember. This used to be the tightly packed Cattleya shelf that now everyone kind of has room to breathe and stretch and, you know, spread their wings. I moved the no ID Dendrobium antelope type over here. I do have my Taganaga, again, an ICPU I put over here. I have my Renee Marquis, and then this is one, this is the Elsie Aussie Sunset crossed with, I think it's Spring Fire or something like that. Lovely new growth. The Purpurata Cattleya Zip. I feel like these buds are growing, but again, I may just be wishing. But we do have a new sheath coming out of this wanky new growth. We have the Copper Queen here, and I hate that you can see all of this cording. Probably in the spring, I'll revamp everything, but again, I was being very like, oh, I want this here, I want this here. And then my husband made the suggestion, just put plants where they fit and you can rearrange them as you go, which makes more sense than the way I was doing it. So that's kind of why some of these are just kind of all willy-nilly. The Potinera Elaine Taylor from Coral Smith is, well, she's got plenty of new growths. I don't like her wanky growth habit right now, and I'm dealing with it. Then the Epilalia, which one is this? This is the, hold on. The Lime Sherbet crossed with Nodosa, Brassavola Nodosa, lots of new growths. And then the Maxima is able to kind of not be all squished up against the wall. So I'm probably going to have to repot her next spring because she is growing out of this pot. My blooms on the Pearl Cooper, yeah, there they go. Okay, well, there they are. All right, let's just set them off here to the side so I can throw them away later, are going over. And then the Lycaste, look at the new growth on that. Oh my goodness, just loving that for her. And down here is pretty much what was already down here. I did move the other white twinkle down here. We, as in you guys, missed the lovely bloom, and I did not take any pictures of that one. I moved the green leopard under here, the yellow bird. I have one here, and I have the other piece on this bottom shelf. And I believe it was Tess who said she would not have separated them. I agree now, months later, so I will be putting them back in the same pot. My seedling of the Potinera Dick Smith is doing rather well, considering I have not watered it in a while, as you can tell by the dehydrated canes there. My Rhincostylus Gigantea is loving life. Again, I got another one of these saucers that I fill it up with water probably every 2 or 3 days just to give it that additional humidity, and eventually I know I'm going to have to put it somewhere else. And this is catching, I'm realizing I do have a few fungus gnats because that's mostly what's on these stickies. Probably just going to take these stickies down. They're very unsightly, and they're not doing what I thought they would do. But again, this is just kind of willy-nilly stuff put down here. My Neophonetia is really exploding with a lot of growth, and she is dry as a bone, as is the, oh, which one is that? The Monachica? Yes, the Renanthera Monachica definitely needs some water. My Dendrobium here, ICPU, is probably, if I don't take care of it soon, going to not make it. Do have another Oncidium here, Twinkle, and I believe, and then the Bulbophyllum is, I'm not sure if you can see or not, but it is doing rather well in that 100% humidity. All right, so this is the top of the Millsbow Tall. I have the Sagrique wax ball right here in the corner. Got my Purpurata Carnea right here. And then we've got the Horace Maxima crossed with Dick Smith right here. I missed my window of opportunity to repot it, so I'm going to have to wait until that new growth it's got starts developing some roots. I have another Mitsiliana up here that it doesn't look as good as the other one, but it does have a new leaf coming right there. And this is the original one that I got. The others I got as a backup because, well, I didn't think it was going to make it. My flamingo, philodendron, nope, anthurium flamingo. And then I moved my Croniana that is in the seashell right here. And much like the Millsbow wide, I have my grow lights kind of attached to the side because there are none in the cabinet. But let me get off the chair so we can look inside. Right. And unlike the Sansy lights, these right here, I think these are by Foxglove. I can't move these because of the way I have it strapped on here. So I just kind of have to move the arms themselves to kind of open the cabinet. But let's see, so I put all of the summer fowl or novelty fowls in here. So there is the, oh my God, the smell in here is so wonderful. Oh, love it. The mini mart, and it does have a senesced leaf that is not quite ready to come off. I'll take her out later. I believe this is the Samara, and then of course the Bellina wild type is in here. Got this one here that I got for my birthday last year. The Vandopsis, not Gigantea. This is the Perishi cross back to self, and then the Violacea, I believe. Is this the Violacea? Yes, it is the Violacea. Hold on, if I can. There we go. It's the Violacea indigo crossed with self. There we go. Or sibling, not self. And then the Tetraspis Wilson is growing a new leaf. And then we've got the Sogo Vivian Leaf's Edge. My Hieroglyphica's got a couple of blooms that are going over, but that's okay. And then we have a lovely new root growth over here on the Yin's Black Eagle. I love this new leaf that it grew out for me. It is now in a smaller self-watering. This is the one that was in the kind of oblong one. And then we put the Sheofin Fang Savory Orange in here. Again, senescing one of those bottom leaves there. Bellina, I did put the spike on a little metal stake because it was starting to grow into the leca. Down here, I did move. I have to be careful because I got plants way behind me I don't want to sit on. The Corna Cervi Chateladay is over here. And then I did put my Gigantea in here as well. And Yapon Evergreen with her beautiful yellow-green blooms. Love this for her. Looks like these Sue's Glad Kid Blue blooms are going over. I did twist those up to hold them up. Might have to cut those spikes shortly. My Bellina Carula is finally growing leaves. And BB, I think if you can look down there, we have a little spiky spike and a new root growing. I may let her spike just to see what it looks like. It will determine how the rest of the plant is looking when it comes to that. And here is another birthday plant. This is the Frydek, which is the variegated version of the Mitsiliana. It does have a beautiful new leaf coming there. She is in her plug. I did loosen the roots around the plug, and then I just put her in some moss to get her rooted up, and eventually she will hopefully grow outside of the shelf. And then down here I've got three of the big girls. I've got my beautiful Yin's Black Eagle, or no, Taishan Fly Eagle. This is the Taishan Fly Eagle. Look at her. Oh my goodness. I'm so obsessed with her leaves. They're so shiny and conditioned looking. She does get a mealybug or two on her, but I did clean everybody off really well before putting them in the shelf, and I have been checking them daily. She's actually done a lot better in here than Scriptiosis. She started this leaf, and she's got healthy root tips. Over here we've got Abonensis, who is working on this leaf right here. I did cut her spikes that she had just to encourage some more growth. And I did put one of the Psychopsis in here just to fill a space. I'm thinking, I don't know what to put here, but I don't like that empty spot. And if you're like I am, you're thinking all the time, what can I put right here to fill that up? But so far, sorry about that, guys. My mic just died. But this is where the bookcase used to be. So I've kind of revamped that as well. The two Phalaenopsis that used to hang here are pretty much hanging in the same spot. Another birthday gift here is I believe this is the Philodendron Brazil. Correct me if I am wrong in the comments, but I believe it's the variegated version of the Philodendron Heartleaf. I have my Second Love up here, and then there's another section of the Gracillus that is here, and I am loving the way she is growing. And then I did move the Phalaenopsis soft clouds with the air plant attached to it over here. Two of the big girls that used to sit on the top shelf are here, as well as the Miltonia put here, and she's actually doing rather well. An ICPU that is finally growing a leaf. Just one of the Heartleaf Hoya that it broke off. I thought I'd try it. I know it's not very successful to do it that way, but hey, it was there. I decided to do it. Another one that used to sit on the top shelf, ICPU. Then down here I have the Miltosia, I believe is what this is. And so far, even with me letting it dry out a couple of times, there is no constantining on here. And this is the, let's see, this is the grow shelf that used to sit where the Millsbow White is now sitting. And then we have the back piece of the Purpurata Carnea here. This is my RLC, let's see if I can get it into focus. The RLC Chi-Lin Golden Super crossed with Hilo Grand. This is the one that used to be in the big round pot, and she's just not doing well, so I took her out of that last night. She has been divided, so there's two separate pieces in here. There are no roots. I know I'm taking chances with that, but she wasn't doing very well anyway, so I thought, well, we'll put her in here. So what it is, I have moss here, seedling bark, moss, and seedling bark to kind of encourage some humidity, because she does have one little bitty growth right here by my finger, if you can kind of see that. And fingers crossed she makes it. If not, I've had her since 2019. She's got beautiful flowers. I may or may not replace her, but I don't know. She takes up a lot of space, so I may not replace her. Yeah. Pink Doll, I'm just working on her new growth here, not much happening with her. This is a birthday orchid from last year that I got at the orchid show. Looks like this back piece does have, I don't know if you can see it or not, but it looks like it's got that new growth coming right about there, if I can get it to focus. And then we do have this new growth here on the front. My Martian leather here, she is just decided she does want to stay, so she's continuing to get stronger. This one is the Dewy Forest, I believe. Yes, Dewy Forest. Again, I've had this one since 2020, not really done much. I don't know. I've been doing some serious thinking about what I'm keeping and what should I let go. Excuse me. So that's why some of these I'm like, do I need to keep them or should I just let them go? This is an ICPU, so it'll definitely stay, but the good news is that new growth is steady coming on up. Sherry Baby did have to come over here in the corner just because of space issues. Another ICPU down here. I will need to repot her because her stem is growing out, so I will probably just take her out and put her in the same pot because she's got quite the roots, and just get her a little closer to the media. And then the Calathea that I got as a freebie on one of the Mitzliana orders, it came with 3 leaves. It's already lost 1 leaf. I've got the 1 leaf left, and then this one here is obviously senescing. If I lose it, I'm not going to be hurt about it. I thought I'd give it a shot, but I do know that Calathea have very specific requirements. They're touchy. I have enough orchids that are picky. I don't need a normal houseplant to be picky as well. My Brassivola here mix, it's a Nodosa crossed with Small World. Lots of new growth. Hopefully some of these will bloom for me. I put all the Latoria types down here as well. It is over here by the heater, so I'm going to keep an eye out, and if I need to, I'll put a piece of plexiglass right here to kind of protect them from too much heat. but since we've only turned it on maybe once or twice for a little bit, can't really tell, so I'll just have to keep an eye out and see what happens with those. And then I've got my zigzag plant that I put over here. And then up here, looks a little more empty or open, however you want to look at it. But I have my Sensor Blue and then one of the Marasakis. The other Marasaki, she didn't do well, so I had to let her go. I have my plant tag graveyard here. These are the orchids since I started doing this in 2020. I started keeping tags 2021. So these are all the orchids I've lost in the last 3 years. This is the coffee cup that Sarai got me when she went to Germany a couple of weeks ago. And I decided to use it as my graveyard holder. A succulent, I don't know what the name of this is. If anyone does, let me know. But my daughter has one and it's huge and lovely, and this is one of its pups. Doing well up here, my spider plant. This is the first one that I got from Ken, and as you can see, it's been nicely hydrated. And then, of course, the everyday ivy, nicely hydrated. And then this is the other cactus that I have. Like I said, it's either a Christmas or Thanksgiving. I don't see any buds on it yet, but this is the one that got knocked over and kind of had to get reset, so it may not bloom for me this year. And I hate to show you guys this one, but I'm going to. My Porcindapsus definitely needs water, and then I untangled it a couple of weeks ago, probably a couple of months ago, because it definitely needs to be propagated and repotted because this soil is no longer any good. It's hydrophobic, actually. And then this table here, I'm still working on cleaning it off. As you can see, it's just a mumble jumble of things, but it will be all phals like it was before. Most of them are going to be the phals that were already up here. Iris is going to be joining the party, as well as the Wendy here. She was in a hanging basket. I've decided to set her on the table here, because I've found that some of my hanging baskets that I don't have, if I don't have them on the ceiling, kind of have them, like she was hanging right here, and I find I forget about them, and that's the same reason I put Unicum where I put it, because Unicum used to hang right here, and I'd forget that they were there because they blended into me. But down here on the corner shelf that I have kind of pushed in on this table, I did move my 2 Paphiopedilums, the model leaf Paphiopedilums. I've got the Oncidium, I think it's the Snowbird or Snowflake, something like that. Snowbird. Sweet spots down here. Another of the marbled obtusifolia, and then the Hoya australis. I did move her down here. Again, this is all maybe temporary. Maybe I might move things around. Definitely not happy with the Millsbow White as far as how I have it set up, the plants I have in there. Some of them I like in there, some of them I don't, but I am most pleased with how my summer phals turned out. So now I just got to figure out how to do the lights, which I do have another box of lights, and then I've got some underneath the shelf pushback that extra lights. So not sure how I'm going to set that up. But if anybody has any questions about any of the lovely ladies, or you want me to do a spotlight video or care video on anything that you've seen, let me know in the comments below. Hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you next time.